Hi, this is Ed LaFlamme, head harvester from the East Coast.
This is Bill Arman, head harvester from the West Coast, and that's exactly where we are right now in Del Mar, California, right here on the beautiful surf area. We call this where the turf meets the surf.
It's awesome.
And today we're going to talk about practical ways to make more profit. We call it the profit puzzle. And today's going to be kind of a gathering of all our thoughts in this whole program we've been talking about over the last 2 months, kind of our greatest hits. And these are, we're going to hit you, you've probably heard these a couple times already, but we think these are so important, we're going to tell you again. All right, does that make sense?
Yeah,
so,
sure.
So these tips are going to save you time and make you money. These are tips that we learned the hard way. Okay, the first one I'm going to give you is lock your keys to your equipment and your vehicles in a lockbox each and every night, the same lockbox, the same spot, and have them in a numerical order so you know truck 1, truck 2, truck 3. This way you can keep roll to see if your truck showed up in the evening, and if the person took the keys home inadvertently or by accident. Okay, so put the keys in the lockbox. Okay, keep your spare keys in a separate lockbox, separate from that box, just in case if and when you do lose a key, you can find the spare key. I can't tell you how many times we have spent an enormous amount of time fumble around looking for the keys. And you got a couple more?
I do. Really important. Make sure that there's no stopping when you go to the job in the morning. There's no stopping. Where you're going to stop is at the job. Otherwise, because you want to keep the momentum going. You're going to leave the shop, go right to the job, start work. Okay, it's really important. Second thing is, make sure you have the right equipment for the job, especially your mowers and any other type of equipment, especially spares. You need spares on the truck as well, okay? Next, make sure that there's no guys standing around waiting for another person, because that can cost you a lot of money. Make sure everybody is productive, and we covered that last week in job sequencing. And if they're standing around, ask why. What's going on? How come this is happening? And you have to learn ways to avoid it. Another thing is your gas jockey. I really believe in that, and having someone come in at night and service all the equipment, maintain all the routine stuff, fill up all the gas, clean the air filters, and do all that mundane stuff. So in the morning, the crews come in and they go to work. That's the best way to be productive, and you won't burn those unproductive hours in the morning.
Those are good tips, Harvester Ed. Now, what gets measured gets managed. What gets managed gets improved. So pick out your most important metrics and measure them. Focus on them. I'll guarantee you, every time we have a customer we work with and we start picking a metric and we start measuring it, it's amazing how much they improve it. So the very first one we want to improve is gross margin. So measure your gross margin, what it is now and where you want it to be, and by revenue streams. I want you to measure your quality of your work. And we have a quality counts program. I'd be happy to share that with you and go over that with you. It's on our product list. Just email me and I'll be happy to go over that with you. Safety, measure your safety. Very critical part of your organization, especially with the rising of worker comp insurance costs. Client retention, probably the ultimate measure of your whole business. If you aren't retaining customers, you're burning through them and chugging through them, you've got a problem. You've got to measure that and hold people accountable to that. Extra work, sales as a percentage to contract maintenance sales. You want to measure that percentage. We like to see that 35 to 55%. 50 is a good number. I like that number. And then measure the workload per supervisor. What's their workload? So measure those. Those are some key metrics that we like to measure. Now link your results to the performance reviews of your employees and add a bonus or incentive to do that, to encourage them to help to move the company forward in those measurable metrics. Sounds pretty good, huh, Harvester?
That's awesome stuff.
So it's been a great ride this last 2 months on the Profit Puzzle. This is Head Harvester Bill Arman.
And Head Harvester Ed LaFlamme.
Now go out there and harvest your potential, make a whole bunch more profit.